Hey folks, R1 here. Welcome to the Virtual Realms YouTube channel. This time around I have a replay sent in by Captain Rammeric of a realistic battle in Eastern Europe. He's in his trusty 76mm equipped Sherman. I love doing replays from Cap. Not only are the notes he provides with the replay detailed and tell me why he's doing what he's doing, but he's also getting into the most interesting situations all the time. Of course, every battle has its little stories to tell, but Cap is a smart yet very aggressive player that manages to constantly find new and interesting ways of putting himself into harm's way. And by the way, most of the replays I'm getting from you guys lately have been including a lot of detail as well. Thank you. It adds a lot of depth to the story. And if you don't see one of your videos featured, there are countless reasons why this could be, and few of them have anything to do with the quality of your gameplay. Please don't give up. This match is going to start out with Cap taking the lead, as usual, on the left flank, and taking down a Panther trying to cross that bridge. He takes a hit in return, but where I would have fallen back behind cover, Cap moves forward into cover. You see what I'm saying? Now, Cap is very fortunate this time around, as he avoids this engagement at long range with a couple of Tigers. He has some very good players on his team. Keep an eye out for a player named Igor, and even more so for a player named Lieutenant Jagger. Of course, the other team has some bad boys on it as well, and I'll point them out when the time is right. Now, Cap could wait for these guys to come around the corner, but nah, he moves forward. And there's a Tiger and a captured KV-1. Tiger tries to back up to get out of his line of fire, but KV-1 blocks his retreat, giving Cap a golden opportunity. Using the corner of the building for cover, Cap finds to his delight that he's able to penetrate the turret of the KV-1. That's 3 down now. Rather than being predictable, Cap peeks around the corner, sees no one immediately at hand, backs up, and reverses course to come around from the other side. His team is in the process of capturing A, but they are under fire, and elements of the enemy team are closing in around them. Cap is going to try and capitalize on this situation and flank the enemy. Now, there's a Tiger right there. This is a lot better situation for Cap. He didn't want to engage this Tiger earlier at long range. He needs to be in close to do some serious damage. He's distracted right now, and Cap is going to take full advantage of that. This isn't over by a long shot though, and Cap needs to continue pushing forward across the defensive fortifications and soft earth in the middle of this open lot. And he damages his suspension, which is going to slow him down. There are a couple of Tigers up ahead to the left that have opened fire on his teammate in the Cap zone. Right now that fella needs a distraction real bad, and Cap is just the man for the job. Not too many players would just pull right out in front of a couple of Tiger tanks. Well, that's just the kind of player Cap is. But even a player as good as Cap can get overwhelmed in a situation like this. In the end, it wasn't the Tigers that took him out, it was a player named Jampo in a 217. You're going to want to keep an eye on Jampo as the match progresses. Cap's not too worried about getting killed. See, he's got a plane of his own, a PBJ, and it's got a 75mm gun in the nose, a bunch of 50 caliber machine guns, and 4 500-pound bombs. He's well equipped to cause the enemy a lot of grief. As far as Cap is concerned, turnabout's fair play. Up ahead, you'll also notice a friendly pilot named Igor. I mentioned him earlier. Igor, in his P-51D, just took out a Panther on the ground. Igor does some good work throughout this match, and he's a good man to have on your side. As Cap approaches the battlefield, he's looking for a heavy tank to drop his load of bombs on. And there's Judas 11 up ahead, in a Tiger. He's one of the better players on the enemy team. Cap's bombs find their mark, which is fortunate because his flight is about to meet an abrupt end. It's a Focke-Wulf 190 on his tail that takes him out of the sky with one burst. PBJs can be a little difficult to employ well in War Thunder, and I commend Cap for using one. But there's a cure for getting shot down on the first pass. Jump at a P-51D. I've been seeing P-51Ds used a lot more lately in a ground attack role, and Cap's got his equipped with 2 500-pound bombs and a brace of rockets. Now, in other game modes, you couldn't pay a pilot to equip their P-51 with ground attack ordnance. But this is a ground attack match. And P-51s in the war were used extensively in ground attack roles, and they did surprisingly well, in addition to their long-range bomber escort duties. Personally, I am delighted to see them finally being used in a more realistic way in War Thunder, something that actually copies the way they were used during the war. And it certainly doesn't hurt that P-51s are blessed with the fact that the player base creates some of the best looking custom camo patterns for them in the game. Oh, this definitely calls for some music. I'm thinking something classical. You know, from the 80s. Now, don't feel bad if you have to go back and rewatch that, but if you do, you might notice that Cap's first rocket attack took out Banshee, the pilot that shot down his PBJ. And that 217 he shot down, yeah, that was Jampo, who immediately spawned back in an Ostwind and focused specifically on killing Cap, which meant that Cap promptly turned around and expended his last 2 rockets, killing Jampo again. Cap is now up to 8 ground kills and 1 aircraft kill, but he took a critical hit on his way out of the combat zone. He's got some big holes in his left and right wings, but fortunately his control surfaces are mostly intact, but he's lost some lift. He didn't really realize how badly damaged he was, although his wings had turned black, which should have been a hint, but he kind of misjudges his approach as he comes back in to land to rearm and repair. His approach is normal enough, but whoa! He gets a little too low coming in. They're going to be cleaning mud and grass out of his belly vent there for the next few minutes. It's fortunate he gets his gear down in time. Barely makes it before he touches down. That was kind of close. But still, in the end, all is well, and he gets the P-51 down safely and brings it to a halt at the end of the runway. It's only going to take a few seconds for Cap's repair and reload cycle to occur, but unfortunately Cap doesn't have a few seconds. The sound of gunfire and air raid sirens lets him know that he's under attack, and he's been strafed on the runway by a Focke-Wulf. The sharp-eyed among you will notice that, yeah, it's Jampo. When he spawned in a Focke-Wulf, he headed immediately to Cap's airfield to strafe him on the ground. Now, Cap tells me that that's never happened to him before in a ground forces battle, but, well, it's something that he's going to have to get used to. There are a lot of vengeful players out there, and unfortunately, I sometimes count myself among them. But Jampo's going to learn the hard way, as I have, that karma also seems to play a big part in War Thunder battles. He's going to choose his Jumbo to spawn back into the match in. His reasoning is that he needs a tank that can take a beating, because he's not likely, with any of the tanks that he had left, to kill everything else left in the match. He's going to have to win by capturing the A and B point. Now the A point is still in enemy hands, so he proceeds in that direction. The Jumbo's a good choice. It can take a beating, and it can stand up to the punishment that Tigers can dish out, if only for a little while. Hopefully that'll be long enough. There are an awful lot of airplanes in the air, though, so Cap's going to have to be somewhat cautious in heading along this canal. Now, Cap doesn't mention it, but I'm pretty sure that's Jampo up there in that Focke-Wulf. And Cap just filled him full of holes, although he didn't take him down. That's unfortunate. In the meantime, Igor's hard at work, shooting down Banshee again. And Judas 11 is busy wiping out members of Cap's team. In fact, as Cap rounds this corner, he looks behind him and catches a glimpse of Judas coming up behind him. He whips around and hurriedly gets the front of his Jumbo facing toward that corner, and he barely makes it in time. Judas is out for some payback. Now, Cap's not going to make any bones about this. His intention at this point is to push Judas off the edge of the canal, which would have been pretty funny. But he doesn't have any luck. Judas is just too good a player, and he backs away from the edge. However, it does not save him. Cap definitely has the advantage. The front of his Jumbo is heavily armored and is facing almost directly toward the front of Judas's tank. Well, Judas is giving Cap his side. The outcome is a foregone conclusion. Now, it looks to me like Judas was the one who was busy capturing the B point, or taking it away from Cap's team. And he left it to come after Cap, which was probably a bad choice. But now it's up to Cap to get back in there. They need to retake this first before they do anything else. Igor's on his way to help. He just got killed by a member of the enemy team named Le Thurgau, or Le Thurgau. And since I have a hard time saying Le Thurgau, and I've been referring to Captain Rammeric this whole match as Cap, I'm just going to refer to this other fella as the Red Skull, and leave it at that. Now there's Igor, shown up in a Chaffee, which is a good tank. I mentioned the Skull there because he's going to play an important part in the end of this match. We'll talk about him just a little bit more in a few minutes. For now, let's just say that as far as the Red Skull is concerned, Igor wasn't the only one he'd been busy killing all match. And here comes another member of Cap's team in a Russian anti-aircraft truck, and he's going to help capture this point. Igor is about to open up on something in the air behind Cap. He's doing a good job of guarding his back while Cap watches around this corner, and it looks like it's a Focke-Wulf coming in. No, don't tell me. Could it be? Yep, it's Jampo coming in yet again to try and kill Cap, but he eats about a dozen 50 caliber rounds and, well, they don't go down very well. Jampo is dead yet again. But Jampo isn't the only threat in the air. There's also a Stuka coming in. And he's heading directly for Cap and the rest of the team. They all open fire on him, but he manages to suicide his way straight through, drop his bomb, and kill Igor and their other teammate in the AA gun. Yeah, it was Judas, looking for a little payback of his own, and he was willing to give his life to get it, but he missed the mark when it comes to killing Cap. Still, that hurts. He took Igor out of the match, and now it's just Cap and one other teammate that we haven't seen before, Lieutenant Jagger. Lieutenant Jagger just got killed by the Red Skull over on the other side of the map, and he's on his way back in an American anti-aircraft vehicle. Now that's a little problematic. They can tear up light stuff pretty easy, and they are excellent at taking out aircraft, but against Tiger tanks and such, there's not a lot that they can do. They have to get either to the sides or the rear, and even then, at best, they can usually only do some light damage. But still, anything's better than nothing. Cap's going to move forward and find a great spot for an ambush on the most likely avenue of attack for anyone coming to capture his base. And Lieutenant Jagger is on his way to back him up. In this position, if the attack comes from the direction that Cap anticipates, he's got his heaviest armor forward, and his flank is protected by the building and the rubble directly behind him. It's a great spot. Now with Lieutenant Jagger swinging in behind him to act as another set of eyes and an early warning system, he's pretty much set. And it's just in the nick of time. And it's Jampo again. Apparently, killing Jampo can be habit-forming. But now there's trouble. There's the Red Skull. He's killed 15 players in the match so far. 15. That was very well done, and Lieutenant Jagger acquitted himself admirably. Cap unreservedly refers to Lieutenant Jagger as his hero in this match, and it's well-deserved praise. Right now, Lieutenant Jagger is busy clearing a BF-109 out of the sky, and it's going to go down in just a second. All the while, he's taking this base while Cap covers him from the security of this building. He's expecting someone to show up from around this corner, and he's not about to be disappointed. I really don't know what to say at this point. You think Jampo's learned his lesson? No, I really don't think he has either. But it doesn't matter, he's out of vehicles this match, so his misery is at an end. And you know what's really funny? Looking at Cap's notes on this match, I don't think he really realized that it was Jampo that he kept killing again and again and again, which makes it all the more funny. Oh, but here's something more serious, the Red Skull. They're going to fill him full of lead on his way over. And he smokes, but he doesn't go down. He's too tough a bird for something as trivial as 50 caliber machine guns to take down, at least on the first pass. Now, that plane he was in has a 75mm gun in the nose, and it can easily kill either one of them. Right now, it's up to Lieutenant Jagger to protect them both. And he's still in the Cap circle, nailing down that aspect of the game. He scans the horizon. Cap is having to take cover. And there he is, coming in again. And Lieutenant Jagger shreds his left engine. And down he goes. The Skull is dead again, but they know that's not the end of it. This guy's got so many kills, he's going to be back. It's just a question of when and what he's going to be in this time. Is it going to come on the ground, or is it going to be another aerial attack? It could be either one. So it's a waiting game. Nerves are going to be frayed. There he is again, attacking from the air. This time he's in a Focke-Wulf. It's going to have a couple of very large rockets slung underneath the wings. Rockets that can easily take out either one of our two heroes. Cap should stay under cover of these buildings. His Sherman can't take a hit from one of those, but he doesn't do it. Lieutenant Jagger is busy risking his life in that Cap circle to protect Cap from aerial attack, but Cap moves out to make himself a target to try and draw fire from Lieutenant Jagger. It's the only thing he can do. Lieutenant Jagger starts laying in long-range fire, keeping the Focke-Wulf from coming in close. Two rockets slam into the ground on either side of him, and Lieutenant Jagger drives him off again. He's kept him far enough away that he ended up not being able to aim properly and wasted his big punch that could have taken out Cap's Sherman. But they're not going to take any chances. They're both going to back up into a little bit better cover amongst these logs and get into a position where they can continue to cover each other's backs. This match is just about over. They are going to successfully capture this zone and hold off the vicious attack of the Red Skull. All Cap has to worry about now is keeping his friend, Lieutenant Jagger, alive, and he will do that successfully. This was a great match, Cap. Thanks for turning it in. I appreciate it. And that's all we've got for you for today. So until I see you again, good hunting. Thanks for watching. I hope you were entertained. If you liked the video, please remember to subscribe. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you. And I'll see you next time.